thought May was crazy, and then June came around and I thought June was crazy, but July, you guys, July was out of control. I know there's a lot of videos out there that are like, if I were to start a YouTube channel today, if I were to do it all over, these are exactly the things that I would do, hypothetically. But how about hearing it from somebody who has actually started a YouTube channel this year? And not only that, but personally, I feel like I've seen some pretty solid success from it so far. If you're new here, my name is Jess. I'm 29 years old for like a couple more weeks. I live in beautiful, sunny Las Vegas, Nevada, and I started my YouTube channel at the beginning of 2023 after getting laid off from my corporate 9-to-5 job. And honestly, it's the best thing that has happened to me. Before I dive into this video, I just wanted to take a quick second to say thank you so much for my first 5,000 subscribers. I am just blown away. I cannot believe that I've hit this milestone already. Like I said, I started my channel at the beginning of this year, and 5,000 felt like a pipe dream. I'm just so grateful for every single person that has helped me get to this point, has been commenting on my videos, liking my videos, and even, you know, the silent watchers out there. I appreciate each and every single one of you. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you continue to love my content and what I'm putting out to you. But today I wanted to share my sort of ultimate guide to YouTube, everything that I started with to get my channel started this year, everything that I think can like help take your channel to the next level, tools I'm using, equipment, software, everything that I think that you might need in order to start a YouTube channel today. And especially considering the fact that I started a YouTube channel this year, I wanted to share like the free things that I used to get my channel started up and running, kind of versus like the things that I use now. And then I also wanted to share like how to actually grow your channel, things that I think have really helped me take my channel to the next level, get my first 5,000 subscribers, how I make, you know, good thumbnails, good titles, how I do my best to keep my videos interesting for you guys. And then I wanted to wrap up this video with just like a quick overview of July's analytics. I know I have a lot of subscribers that care about my analytics, my journey, like how I am seeing growth on my channel and my income as well. So if you're interested in that, make sure you stick around to the end of this video. All right, so first let's talk about the physical things that you need in order to get a YouTube channel up and running. So things like equipment, tools, software, etc. So first we'll talk about equipment. I want to start out by saying I really don't think that you need to go out and buy anything in order to get a YouTube channel started. I actually started out recording on my phone. I have an iPhone, and I actually still use my iPhone today for things like traveling, when I'm going to the gym, when I'm at the grocery store, kind of when I'm like out and about and I don't want to lug around a big camera. So I think as long as you have a cell phone that takes like decent video quality, has decent sound quality, like you can absolutely get started with that. So I would say that's the free way to start your channel from like a camera perspective. However, I was very lucky. Chris, my husband, actually is really into photography, and so he actually like purchased a DSLR camera a few years ago, and so he just like has a camera that he honestly doesn't use very much anymore. And so back in, I think it was like maybe February or March, he was like, well, you should just, you know, give my camera a shot, pun intended, and see if the videos, you know, turn out any better. And of course, I think like the video quality on this is way better than my phone. So I've been using this ever since. So I definitely don't think that you need to like go out and buy a camera. You definitely don't need to go out and spend $2,000 on a really nice camera. There are tons of kind of more like entry level cameras out there that you can get started with as well that are only maybe like a couple $100. If you don't already have, you know, a phone or something that already takes decent video, you will probably need to go spend a couple $100 on a decent camera. So my camera though does have kind of really bad audio quality. So I actually did, this was like my first purchase for my YouTube channel. I did go buy a microphone I use for not only like plugged into my camera right now, but I also use it for like voiceovers and stuff. I plug it into my computer, and I think it was like $50. So for me, because the sound quality on my actual camera was pretty bad, this was something that I felt like would really elevate my channel and something that I kind of actually did need in order to get started. But again, if you're using your iPhone, the camera, video, and the microphone on an iPhone is really solid. So that's definitely like the best free way to get started. Okay, next piece of equipment that I use very frequently on my channel is a tripod. So again, this will really depend on like what style video you're doing on your channel, but I use mine like all the time. I'm obviously using it right now. I use my tripod when I'm showing like videos of me cleaning the house, cleaning the bathroom, it's set up in the kitchen, and I'm recording like my full days of eating, showing you guys like how I'm chopping things or whatever, like all sorts of different things. Like my camera is almost always on a tripod, so you don't have to get an expensive one for sure, but it is just really nice to have. You can also get tripods for your phone if you're using that to record as well, but I think having a tripod has been incredibly helpful. Another piece of equipment that I have found to be crucial, and I learned this the hard way, is having an external hard drive for my computer. So these video files that you're recording on are huge. I did not have an external hard drive when I first started my channel, so you definitely don't need it like if you're just like messing around, like want to try make a video or two and see what you think. You definitely don't need to go out and buy an external hard drive. But if you're creating videos weekly, twice a week, whatever, you're gonna use up your computer's hard drive and its memory and storage really fast. And my computer basically one day completely froze. I like went out, bought an external hard drive that day, and like everything, it just took forever to like get everything off my computer onto the external hard drive. In hindsight, I wish that I had bought an external hard drive up front so that I could just automatically upload all of my clips from my chip on my camera directly onto the hard drive, and that's what I do now. I would just say you don't need it to get started, but if you are serious about a YouTube channel and you're making videos pretty consistently, it's gonna be helpful really fast. Okay, and then I have a couple more pieces of equipment I wanted to share that I think are more in like the nice to have category rather than the need to have. So the first one is a ring light. I do have a ring light. I use it a lot more sparingly right now during the summer months when it's like brighter outside, the sun is out longer, the days are longer. Like, I haven't used it as much, but it is super helpful. It has been super helpful for like some of my 5 a.m. routine videos where it's still dark outside. As the sun goes down, I'm recording a vlog. I need a little extra light for the evening time. That has been nice to have. Again, it's not necessary by any means, but you know, it's nice to have. I have one and I definitely do use it. Okay, another nice to have, and this is something that I just got recently that I've mentioned a couple times, and that is a gimbal. So this is my gimbal. It's in locked position right now, but basically the camera just like sits on here, and as I'm moving around or whatever, it's really holding the camera steady. This was something that I just kind of wanted to invest in for my channel. It was like 250 bucks, I think, and personally, we'll see if I feel like it's super worth it. Nice to have, fun for when you're like out and being active, but definitely not necessary to get started. And then the last thing that I think is nice to have that I just got recently is this Insta360 camera. So I just talked about this in a couple videos ago where I did my like work day vlog, but basically the Insta360 is more of like a vlogging camera, really good for travel. It has a 360-degree camera, so when you're out and about doing stuff, like you can get a lot more unique clips, fun angles and stuff like that. I just wanted this because we have a couple trips coming up, and I thought it would be really a fun way to document our trips and just like experiment with different styles of clips and stuff. This is definitely luxury, nice to have, something that I just wanted, thought it would be fun. And by the way, I will provide links to all of the products that I just talked about down in the description box if anybody wants to check any of them out. I'll link the exact things that I use, and they will be affiliate links, so I greatly appreciate it if you do end up using them to purchase your own gear, because it does help me out and helps make my YouTube dream a reality. All right, so I think that's all for physical equipment. Let's now talk about software, what I'm using on my computer. So first of all, I will say I did already just have a MacBook, and because of that, that means that I already had iMovie downloaded onto my computer. It's a free app when you get a MacBook. So I started out editing my videos all on iMovie for free. And I will say, yeah, iMovie is very basic, but I personally didn't really want to invest in any of these things that I have now purchased for my YouTube channel until I had at least hit 1,000 subscribers, because for me, I was like, I just want to prove to myself that this is something that I'm serious about, that I'm not just gonna do for like 2 months and then give up. So it's like, if I hit 1,000 subscribers with the monetization requirements, etc., like that means that I must be serious about it, and then I feel better about, you know, spending money on software and things like that. So I was using iMovie until I hit 1,000 subscribers, which was in like mid-May. So I have only been using Final Cut Pro now for about like 3 months. Final Cut Pro does have a trial, and I definitely used that because, you know, I wanted to make sure it was also just like the right tool for me rather than using like Adobe Premiere or whatever, like some of those other editing software tools out there. So I really enjoyed Final Cut, so that's what I've been using basically ever since like mid-May, like June-ish timeframe. Other software that I use for background music, I use Epidemic Sound. I think that that's like probably what almost everyone uses. I know that there's some other options out there, and I do have an affiliate link down in my description box on that as well if you want to sign up for Epidemic Sound. And then the last piece of software that I use is to create my thumbnails, and that is Canva. I do pay for Canva Pro, and again, I think it's like maybe like 10 or 15 bucks a month. For me, I think that Canva Pro and paying for it is worth it. When you pay for Canva Pro, there's like a lot more fonts that you can use that I personally feel like help kind of elevate my thumbnails, elevate my channel. And honestly, when it comes to software and what I'm using to actually like physically edit and put together my videos, like that's basically it. The only other thing that I want to mention here is that I have done my own research to learn how to, you know, edit on Final Cut Pro, to learn how to make cool graphics and cool effects and stuff. I've just literally gone into YouTube and searched how to put my face in a circle on the bottom while I'm doing like a screen recording or whatever. Like I just search YouTube for different things like that when I'm not sure how to do things. So I am completely self-taught. All of my editing is just learning from other YouTubers. You can always teach yourself and of course go to YouTube University when you don't know how to do something. All right, so now I wanted to share 7 tips that I have for you guys that are things that I feel like have helped me actually grow from 0 to 5,000 in 7 months. So the first tip is to really focus on like building a community of people that are genuinely interested in what you have to say, topics of your videos, like your personality. When I started my channel, I literally was thinking about like the person that I felt like I was making this video for. What did he or she look like? Why are they interested in my content? Like how are they going to be able to relate to me? And I feel like that helped personalize my channel a little bit. I cared so much more about people that genuinely wanted to know about my life, know about my unemployment updates, know about what I'm eating today and what my workout schedule looks like and things like that. Like I was just really focused on those people and attracting them into my channel because at the end of the day, like I want people commenting on my videos like because they're excited about what I have to say. That's like the first thing I would say is really just focus on who you want your community to be and attracting them with the content that you're putting out. Similarly to that is actually like putting out value. I personally feel like, especially when you're really small, starting out, being a lifestyle vlogger, taking somebody through a day in your life, like why is that valuable to them? Why should they click on your video? That's what I think, especially when you're starting out, really focusing on like how I can provide value to other people or how I can at least be relatable. So if I'm doing like a work day in my life, I might be really focused on like productivity tips. If it's maybe just random like days in my life, I try to like open up about some other things that I'm dealing with. It's a lot of times been like struggles with unemployment and how frustrating that is. And then in my Healthy Girl Diaries, rather than just showing my full days of eating, I also try and provide maybe like how to track your macros or some other like health and fitness type of tips. I'm providing value, but I'm also being relatable, if that makes sense. Okay, my next tip is to post consistently. Whether you decide that that is like once a month, twice a month, once a week, twice a week, be consistent because the more videos that you put out there, the more chances there are for you to pop off. I have had a video that kind of popped off, went viral. If I was being inconsistent, like I may not have thought of that idea for that video. If I was being inconsistent, I may have been like, you know, I don't want to post this one, I want to post that one. So I think just by being consistent, it not only gives you more opportunities to show up in the YouTube algorithm and potentially gain momentum, go viral, etc. But I also think that like back to like the community aspect, and again, this is like why I love my YouTube community, is I feel like everyone genuinely like believes in me and supports me, and I think by posting consistently, I'm like showing up for them. And personally, I feel like that's really important. Be consistent as you can be, whatever cadence you decide that is. It doesn't have to be twice a week. Do what's reasonable for you, but just show up, be there for them and show up. My next tip is to actually ask people what else they want to see from you, especially being like very vague niche for me. I think that asking people what's their favorite content from me, specifically like topics of videos, things like that, has been really helpful for me. I'm also just like paying attention to what people comment on in my videos. I had one video where I had asked if people were interested in a Q&A video. I had quite a few thumbs ups on that comment that I posted and a bunch of people responding saying yes. So I have a Q&A video planned to come out, I believe it's next week. Pay attention to what people might want to see more of from you, and don't be afraid to post in your community tab and say like, hey, would you guys be more interested in this type of video or this type of video, and see what happens. I mean, you never know. I just think that there's so much you can gain from asking your audience directly. Okay, my next tip to actually grow from 0 is to kind of come up with an actual content schedule that flows and makes sense. I look like maybe like 2 or 3 months out when I'm thinking about my content, and I make sure that there's a really good mix of like all of the pieces. So I love doing at least one video like this where I'm talking about like YouTube tips, looking at my YouTube analytics. I love doing health and fitness related content, so I might throw like 1 or 2 of those per month. I kind of have this like almost structure to kind of how I post my videos. Come up with like a posting schedule, content calendar that will be easy for you to stick to. And then also I like to try and throwing a few in there that I am I'm maybe like trying a little bit harder to show up in search and be maybe like a more popular searchable video. Mix up your content, but have a calendar or schedule that kind of like flows, makes sense, and are trying to achieve different things by like each type of video that you're trying to create. Okay, the last two tips I have for how to actually grow your channel are things that I want to dive into a little bit deeper, but the first one is clickable thumbnails and titles. And so I'll talk in just a second more about like how I make really awesome thumbnails and titles. Then the last tip that I wanted to share is just making better videos, making more interesting videos. So I'll dive into that in just a second as well. But first I want to dive really deep into how I make what I think are strong thumbnails and titles. First thing I will say is, again, I use Canva to make mine. You can use anything, you can use Photoshop, whatever. Canva I really like because it has pre-made templates, and so it kind of helps me like format and see things and kind of understand my vision for the thumbnail before I start like tweaking things and putting in my own photos and stuff. If I'm doing something interesting, eating a tasty looking meal, whatever, I try to make sure I snap a picture of it so that I can use my own photos for the thumbnail and like give kind of people an idea of what they might be seeing in my video. As far as like style of thumbnails and how to make them look good, I would say like take a look at what's trending in your niche. In lifestyle vlogging niche, I'm seeing a lot of different like photo montages, whether it be like 4 squares, 4 columns, 3 columns, photo collage. I'm seeing a lot of like that style of thumbnails. But for my like sit down videos like this, I like to do just like one big picture of me with like big bold text on it that is a little bit more like attention grabbing. Obviously, if you're doing like a cooking channel, you might probably want like pictures of the food rather than of yourself. Another huge tip I have for thumbnails, it's definitely a pet peeve of mine when I see a YouTuber, their thumbnail is really hard to read, like I can't read the text on it. Just remember that the thumbnail is usually pretty small. Keep your text easy to read, and that will help people understand what is going on in your video. And then my last tip, trick, whatever, for thumbnails and titles is to make it enticing for your viewer. I am so much more willing to click on a thumbnail that leaves me being like, I wonder what they're gonna talk about in this video. And I guess one sort of tip I do have on this topic is I always put together maybe like 2 or 3 thumbnail ideas. I send them to Chris and I'm like, which one makes you want to click more? Which one like catches your eye more? And he'll let me know like what he thinks. I always think it's like really interesting to hear sometimes like an objective point of view when it comes to thumbnails and titles. All right, next I wanted to talk about how to make more interesting videos, how to make better videos. So my first tip here is to keep your videos fast-paced. This can look a few different ways. Like it can be you talk really fast. I remember watching Catherine Manning's video on this topic a while ago, and she was like, I just naturally talk really fast, and I feel like that just like keeps people's attention because they're trying to keep up with what I'm saying. I actually tend to pause a lot or say or and. So when I'm editing, I do my best to cut out every single and you know, that type of thing, because I feel like that helps keep my videos fast-paced and hopefully keeps people's attention a lot better. The other point to this I would say is getting to your point quickly. I try not to ramble. In order to reduce my rambling, I do write scripts. I think that that helps me stay on topic, reduce my rambling, ultimately kind of reduces my editing time actually, because I'm not cutting out all these long tangents. For my vlog style videos, one of the ways I like to keep it fast-paced is by only showing maybe like a couple seconds of whatever I'm doing. So especially on my full days of eating where I'm showing cooking, I'm cooking for probably 20 minutes. Like it's not a 20-minute video of me like standing there cooking. I am showing dicing the potatoes for like 3 seconds, and then I'm showing sauteing things on the stove, and it's actually like very, I would say, fast-paced. At least I'm trying to keep it very fast-paced. All right, my next tip for making better videos, this is one that I think I'm also really working on still, is to have like a hook. The best way that I am trying to do this is like just like dive right into the topic of the video, or if there's something interesting that happens later on in the video, like you could put that up front to give almost like preview of something that's going to be going on in this video, but hook your audience. So I always think about that, like how am I hooking and capturing my audience's attention within the first like 30 seconds of my video. My next tip is to change your angles and viewpoints. So even in a video like this where I've just been like sitting down, I don't know if you've noticed, beginning of the video I was holding the camera, then I came and sat over here next to the pillows, then I sat in the desk chair for a little bit. Then I sat at the corner of the bed and now I'm like kind of in the middle again. So I'm kind of like making slight changes to the angle of the video. But obviously like same as what I was talking about for like my vlog style videos, I will show one angle it's like over by the side of the sink, and then now it's like over by our island, and then it's like right on top of the food. So I change up the angles all the time of what's going on to kind of just like keep it more interesting and hopefully like keep people's attention better. And then my last tip for making better videos is using B-roll footage. A-roll would be me talking to the camera like this is the main footage, but B-roll footage is when I overlay a clip over it and it's not actually a video of like me talking. Maybe it's me out walking the dogs. Maybe it's a video clip of me chopping up food. I think by mixing up your B-roll with your A-roll, overlaying those clips as much as you can, I feel like that helps improve the quality of my videos and overall like makes them better, keeps people's attention, makes them more interesting, at least I hope. But okay, I think those are all the things I wanted to share from like a YouTube tips perspective, all the things that I feel like have helped me get my channel to where it is today, how I have tried to make better videos, all the equipment that I've used to help get me here. If you have extra questions, please drop them in the comments. But with that being said, I wanted to quickly just go over July's analytics. And before I actually pull up the numbers, you guys, I just have to say July was freaking crazy. I know I've said this a few times, like I thought May was crazy and then June came around and I thought June was crazy, but July, you guys, July was out of control. Here we are in my YouTube analytics, you guys. Very exciting. Today as I'm recording this, I have 5,124 subscribers, which is freaking crazy. I hit the 5,000 subscriber mark a couple of days ago. It was like August 5th, I believe. That was pretty crazy. With that, let's go over to my analytics and let's look at my top content for July. So first of all, I got 110.4 thousand views in the month of July. That was freaking crazy. Like it's just pretty wild, you guys. 1.2 million impressions. 1.2 million impressions. Like that's crazy. 6.9% CTR, which I think is pretty great, and then almost a 6-minute view duration, so pretty happy with that. I would love to get my view duration up like over 7 minutes, but we're working on it. We're doing our best to keep our videos interesting. Let's go look at my top videos for the month. So again, my side hustles video is just like continuing to do like majority of the heavy lifting. That video got almost 92,000 views in July alone. So that's pretty crazy. My how much YouTube paid me for my first paycheck video did really well as well. That one got me about 3,700 views in the month of July. My passive income video, 3,200 views. My productive August reset, I was like very happy that that video did well. It's just nice to have like different types of videos start to perform well, if that makes sense. That one got me almost 1,600 views. My 6 a.m. productive workday, 942 views. So yeah, I just had a lot of different videos like start doing really well this month, and I'm just really happy about that. Proud of myself for growing, you guys. Let's go over to the audience tab. So the main thing here was subscribers gained. 1.7 thousand subscribers gained in the month of July. I talked about this, I think, in my 3,000 subscribers like first paycheck video. The fact that it took me like 5 months to hit 1,000 subscribers and now I'm getting like over 1,000 subscribers per month is so crazy. I'm just proud of myself. I'm happy about it. It's awesome. Let's go over to the tab you guys probably care the most about, which is revenue. So here we are in July, you guys. I made $902.90. That's crazy. I'm so freaking happy about that, you guys. My first month, I think I had talked about $600 and some dollars. I was like, I just want to make like maybe like $750. I just want to make sure I'm like going up. Basically, the fact that I made over $900 last month, that's just so amazing. I'm so grateful, so proud of myself. I can't believe it. My RPM last month was $8.18. My RPM was a little bit higher in June, so I'm not quite sure like what drives that. That's definitely something that I would like to improve if I can. But let's head over to my top earning content in July. So again, of course, my side hustles video, freaking crazy, has made me majority of my revenues. I'm just so grateful that I have had a video that is helping me out financially. I think that there's probably always going to be, you know, one video or handful of videos that are like driving a lot more majority of my revenue, and then I have a bunch of other videos that are like, you know, mid-tier or whatever. So it's definitely interesting, something to like take note of if you're thinking about making a channel one day. But my YouTube subscribers video made me $22. My passive income video also about $16. Productive August reset routine, almost $14. And then it kind of drops off here a bit. Yeah, I mean, it's just really interesting to kind of look at how much different videos have made me. Last kind of tidbit here that we'll talk about is how much I made per day. And so you can see like at the beginning of July, I was only making maybe like $10 or so per day. Things started really picking up like middle of July, where I was having days like making 30 bucks a day. Then I had a $41 day, and I remember being like, I made $40 in one day. Like, that's freaking amazing. And then here we go, things pick up at the end of July. On July 31st, I made $64. And mind you, I did not post a video that day. I just think it's crazy, and I love how, you know, I don't have to be putting out videos every single day to be making money every single day. And that is what is so awesome about YouTube as like a source of income. All right, you guys, I think that is pretty much it for this video. I feel like I just talked for the last like 2 hours straight, so hopefully in editing this video doesn't turn out too long, but I apologize if it was. And if you made it this far, then you are an OG. Thank you so much for being here. Again, thank you so much to my first 5,000 subscribers. I am truly, truly so grateful for each and every one of you. And you are helping make my dream of becoming a full-time YouTuber a reality. So thank you so, so much. If you did like this video, you like this type of video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, because it just helps me know, you know, what types of videos you guys like to see from me. And of course, if this video was helpful, you found it interesting, please let me know in the comments, or let me know if you have any other questions that I didn't get to in this video. But that is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch up with you next time.